Hi, everybody. It's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology, and today we are doing the Leo horoscope for the new moon in Scorpio, which is on November 19th at 10:47 or 10:57, I beg your pardon, p.m., right? And so it will be in other countries or in other places, it could be the next day, right? So check your time for that, and let's go ahead and refresh this. And I have the screen up here, if you can see it, for the new moon, right? There's a kite here, Leo, and that kite is in your happening in your fourth house of home and family. And this is also your home, your house of what makes you feel stable and happy and kind of content, right? And safe, really, and secure, the fourth house. So let's count forward. And we do have a stellium here in the fourth house. So whatever's going on at home, or maybe you want to move, or it can be about the physical abode, not just home and family. But definitely about emotions. You're possibly, most likely, your emotional kind of health, or it doesn't have to be health that deep, but you kind of like whatever is making you feel kind of safe, right? The decisions we make, we always make them for kind of, that feel comfortable, right? That kind of support our stability. So that is the house there. And and then your eighth house is being trined here. So the eighth house is about your money, your intimate relationships. It is about transformation and endings and new beginnings as well. Um, and it is also about your money in terms of shared resources, whatever shared resource that can be bonuses, commissions, it can even be your check from your boss. It's still kind of a shared money thing here, investments, real estate. Maybe there's something going on here because as it connects to the fourth house of home and family, the real estate part. And it's also in your 10th house of career and social status. So maybe there is something going on there, right? And your fourth house, Leo, is opposing your 10th house of career. And that, there's change there. I beg your pardon, you guys. Let me just grab water. There is change there. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment, right? And so as we move through kind of through these transits and these energies too. And so with this fourth house here, it's showing up in Scorpio. Well, what I mean is Scorpio or Pluto rules, we can say it's Mars, right? Usually for personal, it is Mars. Pluto's more for the collective because it stays in a sign for like a generation, right? So, I don't know if yeah. So anyway, but that's how it is between those, between Scorpio. It's kind of, sharing. The ancient ruler is Mars. But right here, Leo, this fourth house, it's a very psychological house, and so is the eighth house. So what you could be, this can be about your intuition, or things that are very deep and intense for you, right? The eighth house is about intensity as well, things that are deep and psychological and intense or complex, as is Scorpio. Scorpio really rules that eight for you, but is the natural rule of the eighth house. So we have something going on there, right? Um, but there could be a truth that you're seeing that has to do with your emotional, maybe, your emotional life, right? Or, whatever is keeping you kind of feeling safe. We all have an emotional life, and that's how we basically move through life, right? We're always making decisions that will kind of provide stability or, kind of make us a little bit comfortable, right? Um, and so that is the fourth house, and this is also, as I said, home and family, but you could be seeing a truth here, maybe about a partner because it's in, a wife, a husband, or it could be about a relationship because it is in Scorpio. But whatever you're seeing, this is super intuitive, right? That's what you are seeing. The 10th house is your career. As I said, Uranus is sitting in there. And it's possible there's a change of social status for you. That could be the case for some of you. Married, divorced, recent grad from college, things like that. And this eighth house is also this house for you is your house of the The house of inheritances. I talked about shared resources. So maybe so for some of you, you could really be receiving an inheritance that can possibly and bring you an inheritance. That's a possibility, right? And Jupiter is part of this as well, is part of the trine or the kite, rather. It is being trined as well. We see, and this Jupiter for you, Leo, is in your 12th house. So the 12th house is about ending. So there's kind of a theme here about transformation for you, or endings, because this here is in Scorpio as well, right? These psychological houses that talk about, trusting your intuition and going deep and things like that. And so here's Jupiter sitting in your 12th house. Now, that house is also about sacrifice and release. It's about, it can be about compassion as well, and creativity and your intuition for sure. So, I believe that you're trusting your intuition about something. And if not, Leo, it could be a really good time to do that. The new moon in Scorpio can talk about that right there. They can talk about, hey, I need to start, trusting my intuition to help guide me. It's a possibility here. So the moon, and here we have the sun and the moon are supporting these fourth house themes of home and family and your emotional stability. But like I said, there could be a big theme here of transformation is in Scorpio. All right. So, and the moon here in your fourth house, really interesting because the moon is the natural ruler of the fourth house. This is something emotional for you, or intense. I feel like it is because, here's, intense the intensity of Scorpio is here. It's in Scorpio. So there could be something here that's very deeply meaningful you or powerful. And you might be experiencing a rebirth as well. It could be an awakening. It's a possibility, but there could be a rebirth in another sense too. Maybe, possibly with a relationship. The eighth house is over here. That's part of it too. Um, yeah, and it could be perhaps about a lover, as I was just saying that, or a romantic interest, but not necessarily. There can be someone who's hiding things from you too, maybe in the home and family here, or if they are hiding things from you, Leo, it could be, maybe affecting your emotional kind of mood, right? The fourth house is it's also about your moods because it's your emotional state, right? Your natal sun trining Jupiter in your 12th house of the unconscious mind. I mentioned that briefly, and your intuition can be really on point. Okay, so trust that here with Jupiter in this house. Jupiter is supporting all things of the 12th house here, endings, intuition, imagination, creativity, um, and also lies. Maybe you are, maybe you are seeing lies here. You could, as I was saying here, because these are so psychological and houses of the psyche. Yeah, the this not the house for you, but the sign in Scorpio, right? In the for the new moon in Scorpio, by letting something go, Leo, you might be able to really expand and move forward in your life. You could be, maybe you're seeing some wisdom here, right? Because of the truth. Sagittarius is also related to the truth. And Scorpio is related to the truth as well because we're able to see beneath the veil, right? That's what that, especially with Mercury here in this Scorpio. Mercury in Scorpio it's like a psychic or intuitive ability, or you're just able to see people who are hiding things. It's kind of a detective as well, right? Lots of detectives have this placement in their chart. Yeah, I know a couple. That's exactly right. And I know a couple of intuitives too, who also have that placement. So you could be letting something go, and it can really, by letting something go, it could really show you, uh, you could, bring you a lot of wisdom. It's possible here. Um, yeah, and so, and you could also be, there's something here that you could be seeing that you were not sure about in the past. That's a possibility here. And Mercury is here not planning, but trining Jupiter, and also, let's see here. Jupiter can be about travel. And maybe you are learning something here or studying something as well. But this can support, travel, your visions, and your growth. Of course, when I say growth, this is wisdom, right? Or, expansion, personal expansion, that could be happening here. Uh, the 10th house is also being sextiled, excuse me, and also opposed by Mercury. So, um, yeah, this can also be about your social status changing. Yeah, you could definitely be seeing something here that needs to change that is related, Leo, to your social status. You might feel pressured here because here's the challenge with your fourth house. Can be home and family. This is the fourth house. This is the 10th house. This is the axis of home and family versus work. Yeah, versus your career. You could be changing your social status, right? And maybe transforming your whole life. That could be going on here. Excuse me, you guys. And you could also be wanting to teach, Leo. That's a possibility here. Mhm. And this can be a time where your money can start to flow as well, because this house here, Scorpio, is about money, and you have a trine to your eighth house, which is about your wealth. And I came into the video saying that, right? Could be. Now we have the sun, as I was saying. Excuse me, you guys, it is opposing Uranus here in that house. So maybe you want freedom, the 10th house, but Uranus is about rebellion and freedom. You might want freedom from something, and maybe you want to let something go, right? Could be. Because of this trine as well in your 12th house, right? Of endings. Yeah, And Uranus is bringing some type of change to you. For sure it is. You might feel at odds with somebody. You could, right? And, something needs to change for you. Yeah, but other than that, it's looking really good for you, Leo. I feel like it is. I feel like this kite here is helping you, of course, right? And these trines that are helping you. And good luck. And thank you guys so much for watching me today. And please like, share, and subscribe. It's helping me get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 lengthy hours of watch time. Yeah. Um, right. And thank you so much. Also, hit the little bell if you'd like to be notified of my uploads, my notifications of my, future uploads. I'll be uploading on a regular basis. If you want to get a psychic reading with me, I'm also a psychic. And yeah, and my work is, it's verifiable. Yes, it is, because I'm always verifying with my clients. Thanks so much for joining me here today, you guys. Have a great one.